In this lecture, let's understand preparing our micro SD card for SD boot. First of all, we have to do micro SD card preparation. These are the steps you have to follow. Don't worry, I will guide you step by step. So for this exercise, you should have a micro SD card of 8 or 16 or 32 GB, and you need a card reader. First, you have to connect the micro SD card to the PC using card reader. And after that, just launch the Gparted application which we installed in earlier part of the course. And you just make two partitions, FAT16 and ext4. Copy boot images on FAT16. This will be our boot partition. Anyway, we have already downloaded boot images, so you just have to copy. And then copy Debian root file system on ext4 partition. We have also downloaded the Debian images. We have to copy that. And after that, you have to configure some boot flags on the boot partition, so which I will show you later, don't worry. After all these steps, that is from step 1 to 7, you just have to unmount and remove the SD card from the PC. Just remove it. And then insert the micro SD card into BBB's micro SD card slot, and then boot from SD card interface. And now let's do these steps one by one. First, take out your micro SD card, connect it to the PC via the card reader, and launch the Gparted application. Let's do this. So let me first launch the Gparted application. Let's enter the password. Now the very important step is to select the device here. Very important, otherwise you may mess up with your hard disk. SDA is the hard disk and SDB is the SD card what I just connected. If you are not sure, then don't worry, just open the command prompt. You can just run the command dmesg. Here you can see that it says that the device file which is created for the SD card is SDB. It could be SDC or something different in your case, but you have to run the dmesg and you have to see the recent activities and you have to select the appropriate device file. In my case, it is SDB. That's why you should be very careful here. I would select SDB, which is my SD card of 16 GB. It is already formatted into FAT32. Now we are going to create two partitions here. First, right click here and let's delete everything. Let's delete all partitions. I would select delete. 14 GB is available for us. Right click and create new. Select primary partition here. So the first partition is a boot partition and it should be FAT16. Select FAT16 here, and after that here you give the size. I would give a 256 MB or something like that, or 512, or even you can give 1 GB, no problem. Let's give a label for this partition. I would give boot and make sure that this is primary partition. Click add. We created the first partition, boot, of 256 MB. Let's create another partition, new. You need not to change anything, so the remainings will be used for the next partition. Select ext4, make it primary partition, and label is rootfs. That's it. Add. And after that, click apply. If you click apply here, all the data of the SD card will be deleted and the SD card will be formatted into two partitions, FAT16 and ext4. If you are sure about that, then go and click the apply button here. Apply. Let's wait for some time. The operations have been completed. Close. And after that, you have to manage some flag for this boot partition. So to make it bootable, you have to set some flags. Select this partition and right click, manage flags, and select boot here and LBA, like this as well, LBA, close. That's it. After that, close this application. Now you can see that two partitions have been mounted, boot and rootfs. For some people, the partitions may not get mounted automatically. In that case, you would see two device files here. Like, in the dev directory, you will see SDB1 and SDB2. These are the two partitions what we just created. If you don't see these mounted directories, then no problem. Just remove the SD card and connect it back. What I do is I just remove my SD card from my computer, then I just connect it back. And you can see that two partitions got mounted, isn't it? Boot and rootfs. Here we have to copy the boot images, and here we have to copy the rootfs. So that I would cover in the next lecture. Make sure that you complete up to here, and I'll see you in the next lecture.